Hey, it's Gray. Welcome back to my channel. Today I would love to talk about Salem in the springtime. I recently got back from Salem, Massachusetts, and I really wanted to share my experience of recommendations and my thoughts on visiting Salem in the spring for a short stay. My trip lasted from Thursday through Sunday morning. We left Thursday very early in the morning and then landed in Boston, spent the majority of the day there, went to our Airbnb, and then ended up spending all of Friday and all of Saturday in Salem. So let's talk about that. If you like these types of reviews, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I share plenty of reviews, whether they're recipes, products, subscription boxes, travel, hotels, all on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe, a totally free way to support me. Let's start off by when to visit Salem. Salem is not a themed city. Salem is the way it is because of its history. It is simply what Salem is. So if you associate Salem with spooky and spooky with Halloween, I have to go to Salem in October. No, you don't. You really don't. I had brought this up to a couple of shop owners and people who worked at their businesses, and they said that going in the springtime was honestly the best. One, the weather's great, and two, you're not shoulder to shoulder with another person. I have seen clips of Salem in October, and that gives me so much anxiety. Going there for the aesthetic, I'm sure there's so many different festivals and activities that you can partake in that are Halloween specific. But Spooky Salem is Spooky Salem. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. So going in the springtime, I think, was an amazing decision, and I would absolutely do it again versus going in October. Where to stay in Salem? When you are booking, prices will vary throughout the year. We tried looking at prices in October, and they were insane. Absolutely crazy. I wouldn't have been able to afford it. So couple things. You can definitely book a place in downtown Salem. There's plenty of hotels and Airbnbs. Really depends on your budget. To be a little bit more budget friendly, I booked an Airbnb in Lynn, and that is about a 20-minute drive to downtown Salem, which was perfect. We rented a car, so no back and forth Ubers, and the parking situation in downtown Salem is truly some of the best that I've seen in like a downtown area. Plenty of street parking. There are parking garages that you pay for. The street parking has parking meters. It's really great and pretty affordable. Keep in mind, if you're using the meters, they are reserved for 4-hour time slots. After those 4 hours, you can't extend the time. You either have to move your car, or, friendly suggestion here, have another person have the section and spot number ready so they can just take the place and create another reservation. So that way you have potentially 8 hours, and then it's free after 6 p.m. So that's my recommendation when it comes to parking in downtown Salem using those meters. Next, we're going to talk about places to eat in Salem, and I will have all of this up on my blog post, including all the links for these businesses and restaurants and experiences. So I have my notes here, starting off with food, and this is keeping in mind for someone who is gluten-free like I am, there were a lot of options. If you have not checked out this app before, I really strongly urge that you do. Find Me Gluten-Free is a fantastic app. Also, there's Atlee, but that app is being further developed, so it really is based off of user interaction and people recommending spaces. But Find Me Gluten-Free is an amazing resource that shares both menus and also celiac safe ratings. Cannot recommend it enough. So let's start off with food. Downtown Salem has plenty of options for you to enjoy. The first place that we went to was called Gulu Gulu Cafe. Love the vibe of it. There's plenty of activities that happen throughout the week at Gulu Gulu Cafe. Their breakfast sandwiches utilized gluten-free rolls, and they were outstanding. Their lattes are delicious as well. I recommend getting an almond milk latte with a raspberry flavor shot. That was so good. Really, really good. We actually ended up coming back to Gulu Gulu Cafe on Saturday to grab a coffee and also a drink. They do have one gluten-free beer available. It was a Saison. I'm not sure if it's available all the time, but do check in. Everything is nice and clearly labeled. So really, really good vibes. So glad we got to stop in twice. Next on my list I have is Crave. Crave is a cafe. They do have your regular coffees, cappuccinos, lattes, Americano, etc. But they also do have breakfast sandwiches, and the gluten-free ones, they do, I'm not sure what you would describe it as. It's not quite bread. It's not quite muffin. It's kind of like a thinner scone. So it is a little crumbly, but it is really delicious. So if you are on the other side of Salem, not so much in the downtown walking area, but Crave is a good option for you to check out. Next, if you're looking for a sit-down place, again, gluten-free options are available. Modifications can be made. Dire Wolf Tavern is a good option for a sit-down restaurant. There are great cocktails, and also their house chips are gluten-free. They have appetizers, sushi. I had a burger, a smash burger actually, with a gluten-free bun, and they have a dedicated fryer too. So really, really good option. Finn's, if you are in Massachusetts, you definitely should be getting some sort of fish. If you're anywhere that is known for their seafood, definitely make a point to get some sort of seafood meal. If you're not allergic, or if you really, really detest seafood, then you can skip this. But Finn's is located downtown Salem on the water. We had delicious scallops, and it was labeled with an allergy, so that was really nice. I actually had previously ordered something else, but due to bread being put in the oven at the time of my order going in, they did check with me if cross-contamination was okay, and I said unfortunately no, so I just chose something else from the menu, and I was still able to have a fantastic meal. And yes, the cocktails are delicious. Would recommend checking out Finn's. If you're looking for another coffee break, Black Craft Cult has a cafe now. It is inside Black Craft Cult, so you just have to go to the back, and through one of the doorways is the entrance to the cafe. They have plenty of specialty drinks, as well as your typical hot coffee, lattes, cappuccinos, etc. The employee I spoke to did not know what their matcha mix was, so I stayed away from the specialty drinks, but they're really, really cute. So if you are not gluten-free, celiac, sensitive, definitely check out those specialty drinks, and if you've tried them, let me know. Are they tasty? Because they really do look it. And if you are looking for a dessert, Melt is a handmade ice cream company. I had a really delicious flavor. I believe it was like orange lavender. Super unique, and it's that kind of ice cream that's similar to like Turkish ice cream, where it has a little bit of a pull to it. Really delicious, and it was a nice little snack while we were walking around. And because it is Massachusetts, there are plenty of Irish pubs for you to stop by. So if you're just looking for a quick drink like we were, then I believe it was O'Neill's that we stopped by a couple of times. It was definitely good vibes, live music. So if you're looking for something to eat, you don't have to go too far outside of downtown Salem to find something. And if you're not gluten-free, believe you me, it's going to be so much easier for you to find something tasty. Next up, let's talk about shops. Friday was our shopping day, so it was ultimate retail therapy. Woo, my goodness, I came back with a bunch. It's great. So what I really enjoy about Salem is that there are plenty of local small businesses that you can support. If you like alternative fashion, I'm in the Midwest, I mean, what do you think about that you can locally go to? Hot Topic. If you have no choice, Hot Topic is great, but it isn't exactly as alternative as it used to be. So Salem shopping was quite possibly the best for me. And I have a list of a couple of places that really did stand out to me. The first one being the Black Cat Curiosity Shop. This place also offers ghost tours, so if you are looking for that, they do offer that as well. But the entire vibe of the store was really, really cool. There are some geodes you could buy, prints, one of which I actually purchased. A black cat in front of the Salem Witch House, which I'll talk about in a second as well. I also purchased some enamel pins, so it's just a really nice place that you can get little things for yourself, but also they make great gifts. Next up, if you're looking for a dark boutique with an assortment of not only clothing but also home decor, Nocturne is a beautiful shop. Even if you want to stop by and look around, the vibes, the aesthetic, immaculate, dark, beautiful, gothic. Oh, truly one of my favorite places that I've stopped by. Next up is House Switch Home and Healing. This shop truly radiates light to me. Really, really good energy, and one of the things that I purchased from them is a spell kit for harmony with friends, lovers, roommates, and pets. And it's really cute. So when you open it, you have all of the items that are needed for this particular spell, and what I enjoy is that it is centered around the home, and that is certainly something that I'm interested in. So again, really good energy. Everyone was very kind, and it was very informational, really. I had my questions answered, and I just really appreciate the help that I received with purchasing the spell kit I was looking for. So really felt good. House Switch is definitely a shop I would love to look into again, outside of visiting in person, but also checking them out online. Friendly reminder, all of these links will be included on my blog post on greyeyes.me. Next up, Roost & Company. It is a very unique gift shop. So much for you to pick from. The colors were abundant, and I most certainly found plenty of socks and cat toys and greeting cards. Really a one-stop shop for you to visit for something a little bit more unique and quirky. So Roost & Company is a great option. Then we have Witch City Wicks, another gift shop, but definitely geared more towards the witchy vibes, as you would find. A wonderful candle selection. I did end up buying a ceramic bird skull. Super cool. I'm building kind of that vibe in my bathroom, where it was just exactly what I needed to add to my little collection. So really great place to stop by and again pick up something for yourself, pick up some gifts. They also had some really cute air plants with planters. Now there are plenty more shops that we haven't even set foot in, and I'll include even more links on my post, so if you're looking for some ideas of what to do in Salem, I will have you covered. This is all in a span of 2 days, so we got a lot of walking done, a lot of shopping, and a lot of exploring, which brings me to my final section of museums and tours that we covered and whether or not I would recommend them. On Friday night, on a spur, hey, what do we want to do with our evening? Want to go on a tour? Sure, let's look up if there's something coming up. Quite literally 30 minutes before the tour, I found a spellbound tour for witches, voodoo, and vampires. It was a walking tour that started at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it took about an hour, hour and a half. Really, really good tour. If I recall correctly, our guide's name was Dr. Vitka, and he was just fantastic with the storytelling aspect of it. It was very engaging. We had a smaller group, so it was really nice to be able to ask questions without feeling like we wouldn't get an answer. So we walked through a lot of key places in Salem, especially around the witch trials, the memorial, etc. Really, really cool experience. If you are at all interested in the spookier side of Salem and want to hear about some real accounts of what people have experienced while walking around, while working and living in Salem, Spellbound Tours is definitely the line of walking tours I would highly recommend that you give them a try. And I will have a link for their Viator tours that you can book as well. Next up is the Witch House of Salem. It is very difficult to miss if you're walking around downtown Salem. It is, I believe, a $12 self-guided tour of this museum. It is original. It is a historic landmark in downtown Salem. It's definitely worth a visit. So if you're at all interested in Salem and its history, which I think you should, it's a really, really cool experience. And make sure you get a picture in front of the house. Definitely a really cool memory to have for yourself. If you like classic monsters, movie monsters, you definitely need to check out Count Orlok's Nightmare Museum, I believe it's called. It is a monster museum. Basically, there's no animatronics, nothing like that. It's just life-size figures of these classic monsters, such as Alien and Predator, such as Pennywise, as a warning for you people who are afraid of clowns like me. It's definitely really, really worth checking out. My husband and I checked out a monster museum in Austin, and I have to say this one is much better. And that's just me being very candid. This one was worth the money a lot more than in Austin. Sorry, Austin, but Salem has you beat. Whether you are a member or not, the Satanic Temple in Salem is a beautiful gallery that I would encourage you to check out. The beautiful Baphomet statue is indeed in the gallery. They encourage you to take pictures and yes, even sit in Baphomet's lap. And if you are a member, you actually do get a discount. So it's not directly downtown Salem, so it's a little bit of a drive away. They do have parking there, and it is a self-guided tour. You can walk around the gallery. They have a gift shop. Definitely such a cool experience to finally get to go and see the temple. And again, you don't have to be a member or anything. I think it's just a great opportunity to immerse yourself in a lot of the art that is present at the temple. And last, if you are at all interested in tarot readings, mediumship, runes, all of that, Pentagram in downtown Salem. I believe it's not too far from the Witch Trial Memorial. 100% worth it. My best friend and I actually got readings. I spoke to a medium. She had her tarot cards read. What an incredible experience. I always go in as a skeptic. I don't ask leading questions, and I had a beautiful reading that I'm going to treasure for a very long time. So if that's kind of up your alley, there are plenty of tarot card readers around downtown Salem. So we looked around for a little bit before making the decision to go to Pentagram, and it was well worth it. So if you are looking for that, they have a variety of practitioners who would be happy to sit down with you. And getting all that booked, you can either do it online or do it in person. We ended up doing it in person and had our readings booked within the next hour. So that was really, really handy. So that concludes my experience of visiting Salem in April. Truly, if I were to do it again, I would go in the springtime. I would probably go get another reading done. I would visit some of the tours again, perhaps do a different one. But if you're trying to decide on spending an extended period of time in Salem, know that you can book things ahead of time, but you don't necessarily... But you can absolutely accomplish a lot of the things that you want in a span of 2 days. I felt very satisfied in those 2 full days we had in Salem. I accomplished a lot of what I wanted, but I also took notes of what I wanted to check out, and I just kept checking things off. Truly such an awesome experience. If you like spooky things, if you're into the paranormal or are a practicing witch, it's definitely an experience I'm not going to forget for a long time. I hope you enjoyed today's review of my experience and recommendations around Salem. If you've been to Salem, have you had any spooky experiences? Because today I'm still trying to discredit something that happened while I was at our Airbnb, and I was not expecting anything to happen at the Airbnb because it wasn't in downtown Salem, but that's a whole other thing. Let me know if you're curious to hear about it. It's nothing major, but it was just something that took me by surprise. Anywho, if you enjoyed this video today, if you traveled to Salem before, let me know your thoughts, what your experience was like, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until next time, take care and stay gray-mazing. Bye!